So we had this time, we talked about the rational equations, I guess. We solved some questions about the rational equations. And then after that, we solved some examples about it. We solved actually a lot of examples about it, okay? We did some, solved, and then we talked about the zeros of a function, right? We talked about the zeros of a function, and then we told you that there is types of zeros. We have a symbol one, and there is like symbol zero, double zero, and triple zero, okay? Symbol and double and triple zero, and then there is we solved some examples about this concept, and then we talked about the growth equations, I guess, and most probably that was the last concept, okay? And then we had homework, and we did not solve the homework. So let's try to solve it together right now, and let's do everything. Alhamdulillah. All right, we will solve questions. We were talking about this. I did open this. Did I close it? Oh, shoot. Okay, lovely. Close this one also. All right. So here we have. I think that the member of a health club determines that the club membership has increased at the rate of this. He told you that the rate. All right. So he told you that the rate of 16% per year for the last what? A rate of 16% per year for the past 4 years. Okay. The club currently. So now currently the club. How many members there is in the club? We have 42 members, right? We have 42 members. Is my voice clear?
Yes, mister.
Should I do this? What do you think about like this?
Oh, it's clear.
Now, is it good? Better?
Yeah, it's clear.
All right. So I was saying that there is percent of increasing, okay? And he said to you that they increase at a rate of 16% each year. Like every year, for example, now they have a 42. They said that now there are 42 members. Yes. The next year is going to be more by what? More by 42%. And then I have a new value. The next value is going to be more by 42%. Guys, the 42%.
The 16 or the 42%?
Ah, sorry, 16. I'm saying 42. Sorry. So more by 16%, yes? So this 16%, is it going to be from the new value or from the base or the original value? The 16%, I'm going to take it from the newest value, yes? So each year, it's more by 16% than the other year. Yes or not?
Yes.
That's nice. Okay, so then now what to do? Now what to do? I will do this. I'm gonna say I will apply a proportion, which is y is equals to what? To a or x, or as I just told you that x01 plus raised to the power of t. Right? Do you remember the increasing? Do you remember this rule about the growth? The XO will represent the initial amount. And the R will represent the rate. And the T will represent what? The time. This rule we took it last time, yeah? So Y is gonna equal, what is the initial amount? He told you that currently he had how many they has? Currently he has 42 members. So I'm saying that 40 2 members. 1 plus the rate. What is the rate? What is my rate? 16%, is it? So it's going to be 16%. All right. All of that to the power of what? All of that to the power of time, which is I'm looking for what is the time. Is it 4 years, or is it 5 years, or is it 6 years, or is it 7 years that I'm going to exceed the 100 members? Like I'm going to evaluate, I'm going to substitute instead of T by 4 or by 5 or by 6 or by 7. So I can get more than 100. Now, easy using calculator, just evaluate instead of T by 4 or by 5 or by 6, okay? And that's when you get the answer. So right now I'm going to say option A, it represents 42. 1 plus 16%. I need somebody with calculator, please, to calculate this for me.
76.
76. So I'm not choosing A because A is not correct. Again, I'm choosing something to be more exceeded the 100, means that more than 100, right? That's what does mean exceeded the 100, right? P, 42.
88.
1 plus 16%. Power 5, it's 88, and it's still not. C, 42. 1 plus 16%. Power 6. What is going to be?
102.
And that's what I'm choosing. And now my members are more than 100, so I'm going to go with this.
So Mr. 7 years هيكون 118. ليش ما نختار 7 years?
He's asking, like, listen, he's asking how many years they have to wait until they pass through 100. So are they waiting 4 years? No. 5 years? No. 6 years? Yes. So basically 6 and 7, like, since that on 6 years there is more than 100, 7 years also 100, 8 years also. You see, like the first year they cross the 100, it's 6. Mr. Yazan, hi, how are you?
Fine, how are you too?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Last few lessons you didn't attend. Are you okay?
كنت مسافر أستاذ فما استفدت إني.
الحمد لله السلامة. رجعت لعنا يعني؟
الله يسلمك. هلا خلص إن شاء الله هون.
أنت في اسطنبول؟
إيه في اسطنبول.
أنا هالشي نزل ثلج.
إيه نزل الثلج.
طيب يلا بسم الله. So we did this question. I don't know. I guess these questions are easy to do. Yeah. Yeah. I guess there's nothing, no problems at all. I don't want to waste more time. I will start with a new concept. Let's do 30. I don't want to waste more time by this. Okay. Easy questions. That was a homework, was it? All right. Did we solve it as a homework? انت ما كنت موجود. فلين, did you solve it as a homework? No. Mariam, did you solve it as a homework?
No, I forgot.
Obey, did you solve it as a homework? Don't say anything. It's obvious. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious by the way. Type. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. A certain bank, money held in account X earns a monthly. Okay, we have an Ismail. I wish that Ismail did the homework. Yalla. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Ismail. Can you hear my voice, Mr. Ismail? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What about the homework, ya Ismail?
homework. ثواني شوي.
لا يطلع ثواني شوي حيطلع من الميتنج.
لا sorry teacher والله بس I forgot.
كمان ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. So open camera and join. Yalla, we have a certain bank account. We have two types of accounts. Okay, account X, they are earning 2% of the original investment, while account Y earn a monthly investment equal to 2% of the current value. I don't know if you can see, if you can focus between the X and Y. All right, X, it's 2% from the original investment, which is X. By the way, X is a linear because X always increasing by a constant amount, and he's saying to you that 2% from the original investment. Yeah, for example, if the original investment is something, okay, he's gonna tell you that the original investment is $500, right? So each month they're going to earn 2% of this 500, which is, by the way, 2% of the 500 is going to be $10. يعني mainly every month they're going to win or they're going to earn $10. That's it. تمام. Every month they're going to earn $10. That's for the first account. But the second account, they are earning 2% from the current value. What does it mean, current value? Yani, I explained to you last time. Let me explain to you one more time. If I have a 500, all right, the first month, they're going to earn 2% of this 500, which is, by the way, it's $10. Yani, my new account will be what? $510. And the second month, I'm taking the 2% out of this 2%. 50 to 510. Do you understand? So it's not going to be $10. It's going to be something like 10 point something else. All right, 10.2 or 10. Yeah, something like this. Do you understand? So in the next month, he's going to earn not $10. He's going to earn some more. So mainly, this the account X is a linear, and account Y is what is an exponential. Do you understand why? Because in account X, he's saying to you that 2% from the original amount, which is always the original amount is the same, which is 500. They didn't change it at all. Tamam? But in the second account is 2% from the current value. Like the current value, which is today is 500. To next month is going to be 510. The next month is going to be 520 point something. So every month the amount of the profit, it will be different every month. Am I good? Let's calculate right now. In what's he saying? I have a $500 invested. He said I have somebody. He invested $500. He's asking for what is the positive difference between the value of the account X and account Y after how many years? 3 years. After 3 years. Nice. So we have a 3 years here. So after 3 years, first of all, I'm dealing with months, yes? So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to do this 3 years. How many months?
36.
36.
Yeah.
36. So 3 years, they are equal to 36 months. That's 3 years. Then I'm going to talk about the account X. Account X, again, both of the accounts started with 500, is it? $500. So account X, they are earning 2% of the original amount, which is 2% by 500 is going to be $10. $10 each what? Each month, yes? So because I have a 36 months, I'm going to multiply 36 times 10 because every month I'm going to earn $10. So mainly I have a $310 as a profit, as an extra. So now the account is going to be, the account will be 500 plus 360, and that's going to be the answer as an 860 as my account. Okay, as the account as a 860. Now that's nice. Now what about the second one? What about the second one? The second one is exponential. Who can tell me how?
500 times 1 plus percent.
Exactly. The initial amount is 500. 1 plus the percent. The percent is 2%.
0.02.
To the power of?
36.
Exactly, to the power of 36. And now use a calculator and tell me the answer. 1,000 and what? Ismail, is it possible to open the camera so I can have a conversation?
Yeah, just 1 minute.
I need somebody calculator. الكالكوليتر تبعي مش شغال مش عارف ليش كارثة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تعالوا نجرب. بفتحها وتسكر.
1019. 1020 approximately.
Approximately 1020. All right. So we have the second account 1020. He's asking for how much or what is the positive difference. Obviously, that you're just going to subtract 1020 from 860, and that's when you get the answer. What is the answer then? 80 something with 80.
Minus 500.
160.
160.
Any problem? Do you see, guys? Again, why I said that the x is linear and the y is exponential, because the x I'm having 2% from the original amount, right? Which is the original amount that we have is the 500. So I'm not going to change. Every month is going to be 2%. Every month is going to be 2% of the 500. Every month 2% from the 500, which is every month is the same. But in y, every month the rate of increasing every month is not the same, is different every month. Here, for example, in y, I have a 2% of what? Of the current amount, and the current amount is different. Okay, every month is going to be different because when I'm earning some money, I'm adding to the extra amount, so I have a total, and then there is more, and then I have a total, and then I'll take 2% of it. So it's exponential. And again, whenever you are using exponential amount, you use this rule, which is y equals to xo, which is x initial, 1 plus r, which is the rate, the bar of time. Okay, and now why I changed the time to 36? Because the rate per month, I'm talking about the rate per month, and I have to change the years into months. All right, always the time follows the rates. Whatever the rates in, for example, if the rates in months, so the time or the power will be months. If the time in years, so that the power will be years. Do you understand? So always the time will follows what? Always the time will follows the rate, not the opposite. I don't know. I guess that's it. I need to start with a new chapter. Oh, that's enough. So our new chapter, which is chapter 7. طبعا our plans to have an exam today, بس كمان للأسف we have an online session. That's why our exam is gonna be on what? On next Tuesday. Okay. الإكزام كان عن إيش؟ حيكون
chapter 4 يا guys.
chapter 4 مش 5. Okay. SAT نحن اليوم شو التاريخ؟ تاريخ 10. Nice. Yeah. So the next chapter we talk about is what we call functions. Okay. The next chapter is functions. All right. So in the next chapter here, it's called functions. Chapters, it's easy, one of the easiest chapters. All right, it's so easy chapter. There is no problems at all in this chapter. There is just some few ideas. Let's talk about them, and then let's solve some questions. I guess we can finish this chapter today. I guess. Let's see it. Then in the functions, we used to do this. We used to have this y equals to x plus 2. Yeah. We used to have this, but this time I'm not talking about the y. I will change just the y into something called fx. All right. So we just, when you switch the y into something called fx, you just change your question into what function. So there is a lot of definitions of functions, but this is the easiest one. Once you see fx, that's a function, which is a function. Its name is f. All right. I could have an fx. I could have a gx. I could have an hx. All right. Just these are, we call them names of functions, f or g or h or anything that's related to x. Okay. Obviously here also y is related to x, whatever. So the fx and the y, they are represent the same meaning. Okay. Okay, Jamal. Type nice. So now what do we have? What we're going to say? We're going to talk about. First of all, when I have a function fx, when I talk about the fx as equals to, let's say that 2x plus 5, right? Fx equals to 2x plus 5. What we can say about if you want to find f of 3, how you calculate f of 3? That's what does it mean, okay? I'm not going to calculate it, but I'm going to say that you have to replace and slide. All right, can you hear my voice? Guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to replace x with what? You have to replace x with a 3 in the function. In the function that has a name of f. All right. So now I'm gonna go to the function f, and I'm going to replace instead of each x by what? Each x by 3. So that's going to happen 2 times x plus 5. And I just told you that the x will be what? The x will be 3. So now that's going to be 2 times 3, which is 6. 6 plus 5, and the final answer will be what? Will be 11. That's for f of 3. All right. So who can tell me if I have an f of 0, what does it mean? Or what is equals to? Maria, what is equals to?
You replace x with 0.
So what is the final answer? It's going to be 2.
5.
Exactly. The final answer will be 2 times 0 plus 5, which is my final answer will be what? Will be 5. All right. That's when you are dealing with fx, okay? You're just evaluating x with whatever value inside. Like, what if you have a value of fx, it's equals to, let's say, 10, right? Fx equals 10, or fx equals to something, I don't care, anything, 11. So what's going to happen if you have an fx equals 11? What does it mean in words, in text, as text?
Y equal 11.
Exactly. Here, I'm just going to evaluate instead of fx, the whole fx, I'm going to delete it and I will put it as what? As an 11. Or you can say as like words, I'm finding, you have to find a value of x that makes fx, the whole of x equals 11. Yani, what you will do, you take this function that you have, all right? I'm going to take this function that I have, which is fx is equals to 2x plus 5, and I will just delete the fx, and I will do instead of fx by what? By 11, which is something, I guess, easy. 11 equals 2x plus 5, and now that's something easy to solve, easy to calculate, and I guess we just found it here, yeah? You see, the f of 3. Now let's check. تعالوا نعمل check. I'm going to move 5 other side. 11 minus 5, that's equals 2x. So 11 minus 5, it's 6 equals to 2x. Then I will divide by 2. I will divide by 2, so I will get the value of x is equals to 3. All right? So, easy concepts, I know. They are so easy concepts. There is something I need to talk about, which is once you have an f of a equals to a value, all right? A and b are values. Once you have an f of a equals b, a will be in the place of x, and b will be in the place of y, or what? Y or fx. They are the same meaning, exactly the same meaning, right? Y or fx. So inside the bracket will be the value of x, inside the bracket the value of x, and outside the bracket will be the value of what? Of y, or the value of fx. This is the first and the most important part of the functions. That's one. 2. Second concept about this. مين بيعرف احمد له فتره كمان مع احمد الطويل صديقنا الطويل okay.
زحت معه نور فيه بالصوت.
Guys, give me just a minute. Give me a minute. I'll be back. Okay, just a minute. All right, guys, I'm here. I'm back. All right, so the second concept about the functions, all right, the second concept about the functions is when I have any function like this, fx is equals to, let's say that I have a 5x plus 1, all right? And there is another function, let's call it gx. It's called x minus 3. I don't care, just any functions, you understand? I'm just doing some random, okay? Now, sometimes going to talk about, Lean, are you here with us? Lean? Yeah, Lean? No, she's not here. Okay, so now the most concepts he will talk about, sometimes we will do some operations between both of them, right? Like we will do some mix operations between fx and gx. So sometimes he's going to talk about the f plus g to a value, right? Sometimes he's going to talk about f minus g to a value, okay? Any value, he will give it to you any values. Sometimes he's going to talk about the f multiplied by g for a value. Okay, I'm not going to do the same values because I want to do it different. And sometimes it's going to do f over g to a value, okay, to a value of 6, whatever. So all of these are different values, and I want to find the answers of them, okay? F plus g to a 2, f minus g to a 3, or f, do you understand? I have something mixed between the first and the second. So what I'm going to do, I will try to find f of 2 first, and I will add it with g of 2. I will deal with each one of them individually. You understand? So I will try to find the value of f2. And here mentally, I can say that evaluate instead of x by 2 in the f. 5 times 2, what is it? 5 times 2? 10 plus 1?
11.
11 plus g of 2, which is 2 minus 3. What is it? It's minus 1. So my final answer will be 10. Do you agree? I guess you agree. So now f of 3 minus g of 3. F of 3 minus g of 3. What is f of 3? Again, what is f of 3?
16.
16, is it? Minus g of 3. What is g of 3?
0.
0. So my final answer will be easy. Easy concept. Again, f of 1 multiplied by g of 1. And here, f of 6 over g of 6. Clear? So f of 1 times g of 1, f of 1, it is going to be something like 6. I don't know. Do you agree? Times g of 1 is going to be what?
-2.
Which is the final answer will be? -12, because I'm multiplying, okay? This one by this one. Now, f of 6, which is going to be something like 31? Is it 31?
Yep.
Over g of 6 is going to be 3. I can't simplify it anymore, and that's it. So adding, subtracting, divide, multiplying, dividing. Tamam? Any problems, Ismail? Here in the functions, we have a new operation, and that's what we called it the composite of a function. Right? A composite of a function. All right. So what do we mean by composite of a function? The composite of a function, first of all, you have to know that they have a symbol as O. Right? So here I have two operations or two functions. I want to do with them like two together, like this. f(o)(g) to a value of 1. All right? Here we have the O, it stands for the composite of function, right? So what does it mean, the composite? Basically, the composite, it means that I'm doing something in order. All right? What do I mean by order? Listen, the composite of function, it is when you have, as an example, if you have an f(o)(g) to the value of 1, that actually means that you want to find the g of 1 first, and the answer of g of 1, you put it where? In f. So this is order. The closest one, like, starts with the right. Start the first one on the right. Okay, the first one on the right, like which is g. Find the value of g of 1. Then what you would do? Then you just evaluate it, or you put it where? You put it in in the F. Okay, so that's how you do it. You start with the first one on the right, okay, the first one on the right, and then the answer of it, put it in the second one on like F. What is the value of G1? Let's go to the G, right? Let's go to the function that we have. Where is the G? Where is my function? G of 1. What is the value of G of 1?
-2.
-2. So now G of 1 is equals to -2, yeah? Now I'm gonna take this answer, which is -2, I will put it where? In F. Well, now I'm saying that the final answer will be F of -2. And I will go back. What is it? F -2. What is it?
9. -9.
-9. Because basically I'm just going to evaluate instead of x by -2. So 5 times -2, what is it?
-10.
-10 plus 1, it's a -9. So you just do the -9. So my final answer will be -9. Any problems? All right. Now I don't know if you used the Zoom before, or like if you're good with Zoom. Here I'm gonna show you a question, and everyone try to find the answer and send it to me on a chat. Okay. There is something called chat with the host.
Okay.
Okay. Just send me on the chat the answer. All right. So now we have a fx. Fx is equals to 2x minus 5. Gx is equals to x plus 3 all over 2. Now find, I'll give it to you two things. Find G O F, or wait, yeah, G O F to a value of 1, 2, find F O G O G to the value of 3. Everyone try to do this.
أول واحد 0 تاني واحد -5.
Lean, thank you so much. I said send it to chat.
خربطة. سوري يلا.
So I have different answers now. Are you sure, Lean, the first answer is 0? I don't know. I guess it's not 0. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, I have to choose the answer because all of them, they are choosing something else. Yazan is incorrect. Okay, Mariam, what's happened? 1 and 1. Okay, so everyone solved this one. Let's see how you solve it. All right, again, one more time. How you do this? How you do this? We do this. First of all, I want to find the f of 1. Yes, always start with the right. Then the answer of f of 1. Let's find the f of 1, and the answer of f of 1. I will put it where? In G. Clear? So f of 1 basically 2 times 1. It's 2 minus 5. So the f of 1 is equals to what? To -3. And then you take this -3. You put it where? You put it in G. So now I'm saying that the next step is going to be g of -3. تعالوا نعمل هون -3. So basically here is going to be -3. -3 plus 3, -3
0
plus 3 over 2, which is going to be 0 over 2, which is, that's correct, Yaleen, it's a 0. All right, so the final answer of all of this is equals to 0. So the first one is 0. What about the second? Second, here we have a 3. First of all, I want to find the g of 3. All right, first of all, you want to find the g of 3. Then you take g of 3, you put it where? In g. Then you take the answer of this, put it in f. So I will do 3 things. All right. All right, let's see it. The first, I want to find the g of 3. That's the first. Second is find the answer and put it in g one more time. Third, find the answer and put it in f. So g of 3 is equals to, let's go here and let's evaluate instead of x by 3. So it's going to be 3 plus 3. What is it? It's going to be 6 over 2, which is also
3.
3. Coincidence. Now, what is the answer here? It's a 3. Put it where again? In g. So one more time, I will do g of 3, which is one more time is going to be 6 over 2, which is one more time is going to be 3. Now, again, take the 3, put it where this time? In f. So now just say, what is the f of 3 this time? Go to the f of 3 and tell me 2 times 3, 6 minus 5,
1.
6 minus 5, and my final answer will be
1.
equals 1. Any problems? So now that's my second answer. That's my second, my second concept of having functions. Now we will talk about a new one, which is we have something with functions so important. It's what we call the domain and the range. All right. And by the way, the domain and the range of function, it's something so big, and even the function itself, it's a very big topic. But in the SAT, the functions are something easy. All right. صحتنا هنا يا اسماعيل عم تجوعنا. لا keep it معلش خليك stay with me خليك معي بس انت جوعتني بصراحة. Okay, so now my function is fx. If I have a function fx like this, okay, fx is equals to anything, right? X plus 5. Clear? Now what we would do, or what we would say, that the domain, you have to know that I have a domain, something called domain, and something called range. All right, what is the domain? What is the range? Anyone? What is the domain? What is the range? No one knows about the domain and range before? ما حدا سمعان طب لين
سامع فيها بس ناسي شو.
بالانجلش هيك مالي سمعانة فيهم لا.
بالعربي هو الدومين والرينج.
Mister, isn't the domain usually X?
Yes, it's X. بس بالعربي أنا بتذكر لك اسمه بالعربي نسيان. الدومين بالعربي المجال هيك شيء.
المجال والمستقر تمام.
أيوة المنطلق
والمستقر.
صار لي زمان ما يكتب بالعربي فمعلش. المنطلق المستقر. I don't care. خلاص. It's domain and range. Okay, whatever. So domain and range. So the domain, it's basically we're talking about the values of x, and the range is the values of y. What do I mean by values of x and the value of y? The values of the domain are the allowable values that you can take and put x instead of. Yani, if I can take x and I will put x instead of it by 1 or by 2 or by 3 or by 4 or by 5 or by any value, all right, or even negatives or even 0, is there any problem I will have? And when I'm saying problem, what do I mean? Problems like 5 over 0, that's a problem, yes, because it's undefined. It can't divide by 0. Problems like this, all right, there is, by the way, there is a lot of problems, but in the USAT, that's enough to talk about these 2 problems. Okay, so problems here, we have a fraction and we have a root. All right, these are problems. Do you see any problems in here? No, I can't. I don't see any problem. So basically you can use any value of x. Yeah, that I will give it to something else now. So in the first one is going to be the domain will be all real values. You can use all real values, all right? Then I'm going to give you something else. Fx is equals to 5 over x minus 1. Am I allowed to use any value of x that I wish? The answer is yes, except of one value that you cannot use.
1.
Do you know what is it?
1.
1, exactly. So I'm just going to say that the domain, my domain, it's basically all real values except of positive 1. Why except of positive 1? Because when I have a 1 here, so it's going to be 1 minus 1, I'm going to see a problem. You see, I will create a problem. So that's why just the domain is all real values except of 1. The range idea, there is a lot of ideas about the range. Fortunately, in your SAT, the domain and the range, right? The domain and range, it's always graphed, like training graphed. And always they will give it to you a graph and they will ask you to find the domain and range. Let me show you something. Here, if I have this is as a coordinate, I'll try to do coordinate as fast as I can, like this. Okay, somehow this is my coordinate. That is the x-axis and that's the y-axis. And now let's say I have this as my function, which is, by the way, it's what we call the quadratic function. Okay, now I need you to think with me, right? Think with me as this. The domain, right? The domain, if you want to find the domain from any graphed function, try to get a vertical line. All right, yeah, Jama'a, شو يعني try to get the vertical line? Try to get the vertical line like this. Now, خليكم معي لحظة, because that's important, okay? So now what I'm gonna do, I will try to draw a vertical line like this. You can't see the line at all. Now, this is my line that I have, okay? Listen carefully. Now, I tried to draw a vertical line. Do you see this vertical line? Yeah. Now, ask yourself, is there an intersection? Is my line here intersected? Yeah, Jama'a, is your line intersected? Yes, I'm going to say yes, it's intersected here. صح? Yes or not? So now try to mentally try to move your line over the whole x-axis, all of it. Do you see any point without an intersection? And for example, now I'm talking about the positive y. What is the equation of this one? Do you know what is the equation of this one? What is the equation of this one? It's
x squared plus 2.
No, I'm not talking about this like function. I'm talking about the orange line, right? The equation of the orange line is x equals 2, is it? With x equals 2, do you have an intersection? Yes, I do, which is here. There is an intersection. Yani, when you moved your line right and left and right and left, is there any point without an intersection? No. صح? There is no point without an intersection. So that's why I'm going to say that my domain is represent all real numbers. All right? Let me show you something else so you can understand it carefully, clearly. Yeah. Amr?
Yeah.
What he said? Repeat?
Can you just repeat this point? I just came.
I will repeat the whole question. Just wait. I will repeat the whole concept. You were late. You were late. That's why.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I was in the gym, of course.
There is a question. Is it your voice is lagging or my internet connection is lagging?
Yes,
No, it's
His
my
voice
internet.
is lagging.
يعني مش-
His voice is lagging. Okay. Amr, your voice is lagging then. I'm trying to draw a line. I can't draw a line, and there is no option. Look, they give it to us a lot of shapes, but they didn't give it to us a line. Alhamdulillah. I don't know why. Whatever. So now this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. I will try to draw a function, and I will show you what do I mean by this. One, let's say that this is my function, okay? which is, by the way, if you search for it, it's going to be the square root function. This is a graph of a square root function. Never mind. Now, how can I find what is my domain? I will talk about the range for just a minute. What is the domain? Sure, what is this? What is the domain and what is the range? Guys, stay with me for a minute, so I'll show you how you do the domain. I told you that in the previous slide. I told you that if you want to find a domain, try to draw a vertical line like this, all right? And ask yourself, now when I'm drawing this vertical line, do I have an intersection at this point? By the way, this point it's x equals 2, yes? This point is x equals 3, x equals 4, x equals 5, x equals 6, 7, 8, 9. You see? So while I'm moving my line, while your line is moving, right, the vertical line that you think about is moving, each point represents a line. Like this line, sorry, it represents a point, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move it right, left is going to be 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, with 2 or anything, for example, now 4, is there an intersection? Can I see an intersection? I guess I can see there is an intersection. You see it? There is intersection with your line, with your graph. Type. Move it left, move it left, move it left. I'm at 0. Is there an intersection? Yes. At -1, yes. At -2, yes. At -3, yes. But what about -4? Do you have intersection between your line, the vertical line, this one, and the graph? No. Yes. Like the last point that intersected at where? At the -3. Do you see? So that's why I'm gonna say that the domain, right? The domain have to be any value greater than -3. Any value greater than -3. Why greater than -3? Because basically from -3, -3 there is an intersection. -2 there is an intersection. 1 there is, and 0 and 1 and anything more, I will have an intersection. But at -3 or at -4, I don't have. So that's why my domain have to be started from what? -3. Yes, darling. Tell me.
سر هلا إذا كان لاين هو شلون بده يكون إلا قيمة يعني؟
كيف يعني إلا قيمة؟
يعني أو إلا قيمة أو أكبر من، إذا كنا عم نحكي عن إنه يعني equal مو متراجعة حتكون.
For example, I will show you. يعني for example, as I just talked about this one. وينه؟ لا مش ده. Here, I told that all values except of 1, yeah?
تمام.
Exactly. But for this, if you want to, for example, the graph it, okay? We will see this. You will see this. You graph, okay? As an example, that's x and that's a y. If you want to graph it, you will see this. For example, it's a line or anything. On the value of 1, you will see that I have an open circle like this, and then I'm going to resume. Just they will do an open circle and they will resume. You understand? And basically, when you have this line, when you have your line, there is intersection about everywhere. But when you have a 1, it's an open circle, and it's not included in my solutions. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
How like this? Okay. That's nice. But now we talked about what? We talked about the concept of having the domain. Let's talk about the concept of having range. How do you do the range? How do you do the range? The range is, I will try to do about the range. I will talk about the range, right? The range is, I will try to do the opposite, which is in the domain I did vertical line. In the range, I'm gonna do the horizontal line.
Mister.
Yeah.
All of these questions for the domain and range, they're gonna be graphed. So
Mostly, yes. They didn't ask any questions in the SAT with like algebraic equations. Mostly they will be graphed. Okay. Type. So about the range, it's horizontal. You try to draw a horizontal line. Okay. Try to imagine that there is an horizontal line, and you try to see, do I have intersection or not? Like here, I'll try to do the horizontal line, and try to ask yourself this question: do I have intersection between my function, the blue function, and the graph? Here, no. صح? You don't. Type. Do I have now? No. Do I have now? I guess yes. because of the, like the function start to touch the line, yes? So I will say that my range will start from where? My range will start from this point, which is 1, 2, 3. So my range is going to start from y equals to -3. Yani the value started is -3. And I'm going to say any value greater than -3 will be intersected. Yani -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just go more to this 3, there is going to be intersection. If you went any value less than this 3, -3, sorry, like -4 and -2 and -5, -6, -7, anything less than -3, there is no intersection. Again, what do I mean by intersection? Like let's say this. Here, where is the intersection you have? The intersection you have this point and this point. There is 2 intersections. Am I good? So my range is represented right now is the horizontal line, and now I'm going to say that the range is have to be greater than or equals to what? To -3. That's for this exam. Now, who can tell me what about this exam? What is my range?
Zero للinfinity.
Exactly. It's going to be greater than 0 because here I'm at -1. Do I have intersection? No. -2, no. -3, no. So all the negatives, there is no values, there is no intersection. Now, what if I start with a 0? When I start with a 0, if you see that there is an intersection, you see that this is the intersection. Then 1, still intersection, there is intersection. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Type here, do I have at 7? I don't have, sir. Actually, you do have, which is while if you want to extend your function, this is my function, by the way. Right? So if you wish to like extend, let's try to extend the function here. You see, there will be intersection at the end. Do you understand? There's gonna be intersection at the end, like because the functions keep going up and up and up. Am I good? All right. So that's why I was saying that here that the range will be what he said, what we agreed of. The range, as Lynn said, will be greater than or equals to what? Greater than or equals to 0. Okay. تمام يا جماعة. All right. That is the concept of domain and range, how you will find the domain and how you will find the range. So we talked about the domain and range, and that's so important. We talked about the composite. There is one more idea, which is what we call the piecewise function. Okay. Which is basically the piecewise function it's a function with multi-values. يعني I have a function fx. Mostly we will have a function fx with one value, which is like one value, 2x plus 1. All right. But this piecewise function, it's actually a function with many different. For example, you may see it with 4 values, 4 different values. You see it as x squared. Right. You see it as x minus 1. You can see it as a 3x plus 5. You can see it as a 10x cubed, right? Like this function has different values, different equality. How you will know which one you're going to use? Actually, it depends on the value of x. You're going to use x squared if the value of x is less than, let's say, -10. By the way, all of these numbers are just random, right? I'm choosing the random numbers. Example, clear? Because sometimes it will give it to you something different. So I'm going to use x squared once you have an x less than 10. You're going to use this once your x is less than or equal, greater than or equals to -10 and less than -2. You're going to use this once you have the value x is greater than or equals to -2 and less than 3. And you're going to use the 10x cubed when you say that x is greater than or equals to 3. So it depends on the value of x. Yani, when I'm saying to you to find the value of f of 5, all right, f of 5, what is going to be f of 5? Here, you have to ask yourself that the value of x, what is the value of x that I have right now? It's 5, yes? It's 5. So is the 5 belongs to this one or this one or this one or this one? Like the 5, it belongs to which of this? I would say that it belongs to the last one because basically 5 is greater than or equals to 3, yes? So I'm going to say that it's going to belongs to the last one. So that's why I'm saying that the f of 5, it's what? 10x cubed. What is x? X is going to be what? 5. So that's going to be 10 times 5 cubed. 5 cubed, you can use a calculator or you can use your mental. It's 125. So my final answer is going to be 1250. Do you understand?
أنا ما كتير فهمت الأيديا تبع المجالات اللي كتبناهم بالأحمر.
كمان هدول random, okay? These are random numbers. They are not fixed.
Okay.
Not always with this, okay? He give it to you values. He will give it to you like this. I will show you examples, inshallah, in the book. But here, he will give it to you, for example, find the value of f, let's say f of 0. Tamam? Then here, what does it mean? What is the value of x he is asking for? He's asking for x equals 0, صح? This 0, it belongs to where? Here or there or here or there. Like what?
للإكس مربع وللثلاثة إكس زائد 5.
I guess this here. I guess the 0 belongs here. Yes or not? Do you agree? I guess my 0, it belongs, it's greater than -2 and less than 3, because that's a mistake and that's a mistake and that's also a mistake. Yeah? So my 0, it belongs to here. So that's why I'm just going to apply, instead of x by 3x, here, I'll say this. It's going to be 3x plus 5. And now I'm applying, instead of x by what? By a 0. So it's my answer is going to be 3 times 0 plus 5, which is going to be 0 plus 5, which is what? It's a 5. Okay? Okay, يا جماعة. Any problems?
No.
لا. Oh, by the way, all of that, oh guys, all of that, everything in here, right, it will be given. Everything here, he will give it to you. It's given, right? All of this is given to you. That's all given information. All of this will give it to you, this information, and he will ask you these questions. So don't worry about it. That's the piecewise function, and that's how we're going to deal with the piecewise function. Secondi varma. Let's have a quick break. Let's take a 10-minute break and let's go back. Okay. Now wait, 6:35. Let's take it to 6:45. I'll be back. تمام؟ يلا. Guys, we're back. Ubay, Yazan, Amr, can you hear my voice? Mariam?
Yes.
All right, let's start with chapter 7. Small functions. Let's start solving some questions about it, okay? Let's see. Question number 1. As you can see that we have a function. He's saying to that, what is the value of f of s of negative 4? Okay. As you can see that here I have two functions. I have a bx and I have an sx, and he's asking for what is the value of s of negative 4. Okay. We are looking for s of negative 4. So what we would do, basically, what does it mean? It means that like here, if you want to understand this, all right, listen carefully how you understand it. It means that I have to go to the function. I have to go to the function sx, all right, and substitute instead of x by what? By negative 1. I'm going to go to the function sx and I have to substitute instead of each x by negative 1. So that's what I will have. I see that s of negative 1 is equals to 7 minus p of negative 1, all right? 7 minus p of negative 1. And now I'm looking for, I have a problem, like while I'm calculating the p of negative 1, s of negative 1, I found that there is a problem, which is p of negative 1. Again, I have to go to the p and find the, instead of each x by negative 1, that's what's going to happen. P of negative 1, that's equals to 7 times negative 1 plus 4. 7 times negative 1 plus 4 is going to be minus 7 plus 4. And my final answer is what?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. And this is the value of p of negative 1. So I'm evaluating instead of p of negative 1 as negative 3, 7 minus p of negative 1, which is negative 3. So my final answer will be 7 plus 3. And I'm going to say that my final answer will be what? My final answer will be 10. And that's how I would do it. Okay, any problems? Give yourself a minute to do this.
B.
B?
Is it A?
Yeah, it is B. So one more time, he's saying to you that which of the following domain values We're looking for which one of the domain values correspond to a range value of 14. One more time, the range, I told that the range is y, and the y is fx. Yeah? Yes or not? The range is y, and the y is fx. So I'm just going to fx, and I will substitute instead of fx by 14. So that's what's going to happen. Fx is equals to x squared over 4 minus 11. And what you have to do is just delete the fx and put instead of fx by 14 because he told you this, and find the answer easily. Yeah, move 11 other side. That's going to be 14 plus 11. That is equals to x squared over 4. And now that's 11, 14 plus 11, it's 20. 25 is equals to x squared over 4. And then times 4 both sides, get the x squared is equals to 100. And then x is equals to what? By the way, it's positive, negative 10, all right? Don't forget that, positive and negative 10. I'll choose then. Okay. Let's do this. As you can see that in this function, we have a three, in this graph, there is a three functions. The first one is f and g and h. All right, as you can see that the fx, I don't know, what do you think? Fx will represent this line, is it? Let's do this here like this. So fx will, I will do the fx in red. Okay, fx will be in red. Right. I'm gonna do the hx will be in a blue. And I will do the third one in the gx and in green. Lovely. Okay, nice. He's asking for, what is asking for? He's asking for what is the value of h0 and g of 1 and f of 2. So, guys, once he is asking for a value of h, again, which one is h? H is the blue, is it? So hx is the blue one. So once I'm looking for h of 0, I'm looking for the blue one, and I'm not looking for anything else, okay? I'm just looking for the what? The blue one. I will try to draw a line, guys. Draw like this is the line, okay? A vertical line. Again, he's asking for the value of 0, صح? So this is the value of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's the 0. So the value of 0 intersect with the blue line at where? At what? Tell me.
At 4.
So the h of 0 is equals 4. Do you understand? That's how you imagine it. That you try to have a vertical line, and this vertical line, and actually it intersects with the three of them. But I'm not looking for the red one, and I'm not looking for the green one. I'm looking only for the blue one. Why? Because he's asking for h. Okay. Now let's try to find the g of 1. Okay, g of 1. What is the g of 1? The g is in the green, is it? G is in green. So I'm saying that g of 1.
This one.
I'm just going to go with the 1 and see the green will be where? The intersection between the green and the vertical line. Where it will be?
1.
It will be at 1. And now the f will be the red one, yes? That's the f. The f will be the red one. So f of 2. Again, move your graph on this, like this. And tell me, where is going to be the f of 2?
3.
2 at where? At this point, which is basically 3. So f of 2 is going to be equals to 3. And now just evaluate what they're asking for. He's asking for h of 0 minus 3 of g of 1 minus f of 2. Okay, now just evaluate it. H of 0 is
4.
4 minus 3 times g of 1. What is g of 1? We know it as 1.
1.
Minus g of f of 2. What is it? 3.
3.
And now 4
Negative
minus 3.
Negative
4
2.
minus 3
Negative 2.
times negative 2. What is the answer then?
Negative 2.
And the answer is A, is a mistake. That's not correct.
No, it's 10.
Yes, alhamdulillah. It's 10. Yes, and no. You know why it's 10?
What?
Because your
Oh.
book is solved.
اه لا لا استاذ والله حاسب استاذ.
الحاسبة. Okay.
في شيء أسود طالع على الشاشة من عندك شيء؟
في شيء اسود طالع على الشاشة من عندي؟ انا ما اعرف. في شيء اسود؟
في هيك شيء مغطى.
والله راح؟
ايه راح.
هذا راح.
طيب. Where is the mistake? I have a mistake. Where is it?
ايه اوكي ما تقيدنا بترتيب العمليات.
Yeah, the order of operations يا جماعة. Here I cannot subtract first. That's a mistake. Here you have to do the bracket first, and then after you do the bracket, you multiply, then you subtract. Okay, that's a mistake to do this. So I can't say it's 1. I will say this. It's 1 minus 3. It's negative 2. So I will say that 4 minus 3, and then multiply first. It's going to be 4. 3 times 2 is going to be plus 6, and then it's going to be 10. The final answer is 10. It's not A. It's 10. Okay, that's a mistake to say negative 2. It is 10. Okay. Yeah, let's do more next. Who can do 4 for me? Yeah, take a minute, and if you know the 4, text me on chat.
It's B صح؟
Is it?
B. B.
B. All right, let's see it's B. As you can see, guys, here, first of all, there is a calculator. You can use a calculator. And here there is a table, and I'm looking for which function is represent the table, right? The best thing to do is just choose any value of x, okay? Mostly don't use the first value, because mostly the first value is repeated in 2 options, okay? Mostly. Now I'm gonna choose the 3, and I will see which one in my options will give it to me the answer as 13. So I'm saying that 7 times 3 minus 1. You understand what's happening? Here you just evaluate it instead of x by 3 and see which one will give it to me as 30. So 21 minus 1, it's 20. So A is a mistake. 6 times 3 minus 1, which is going to be 6 times 3.
18.
18. Sorry, minus 5, not 1. Sorry. 18. 18 minus 5, it's what?
13.
It's 13. So most probably B is the answer. Guys, you cannot say that this is my answer. Like, don't say it, it's the final, until you double check or you make sure that every other option is mistaken. Okay? 6 times 3 plus 1. Oh, hey, bismillah. It's 5 times 3. 5 times 3 plus 1, it's 15 plus 1. It's 16, and that's a mistake. And here 4x, which is 4 times 3 plus 5, which is going to be, what is it?
18.
It's 12 plus 5, which is
17.
17. It's not correct, so the only correct option is B. That's how you solve the questions, okay? That's how you do this style of questions. Choose a value, and most probably don't choose the first value, guys. Don't go with the
طب
first
أنا
value.
بقدر أحطها بالتيبل هون صح؟
You can.
هون.
Yeah.
No.
Like now I'm gonna please everyone. You have 4 minutes to these 4 questions. Tamam? Prepare yourself. Okay, I will give it to you 4 minutes to do these 4 questions. You have to do them in 4 minutes. From 1 to 4, all right? If you have the books from 1 to 4, try to do this 4 questions in 4 minutes. And you have to have the books لأنه أنتوا في البيت أساسا.
Do we start now?
What?
Do we start now?
Yeah, start please. 4 questions in 4 minutes. You have to do them so you can be good.
Any page بس هدول.
10.
تمام.
Question from 1 to 4, right? Don't do the 5. That's 1 to 4.
Finish, teacher.
سير نكتب لك يا هون شات ولا شو؟
Mr. Ismail, can you check question 3 again? Lean, that's perfect. Mariam, can you check question 1 again? And 4. Okay, check 1 and 4 again. Obey, perfect.
أنا شو أعمل check؟
لا لين أنت perfect ماشي. All right, that's it. That's it. Let's do it. These are easy questions. Ismail 3 is correct. Now is good. Right. Why are you closing cameras? I feel to myself I'm turning to radio. I'm about to درس للراديو. ليش سكرتوا الكاميرات؟ لماذا نحن هنا؟ أهلا وسهلا يا أبي. عمر نحن ما شفنا. عمر أنت are you with us؟ أنت معنا ولا مع التانيين؟
مستر معاك بس انا النت بتاعي وحش فمش هينفع افتح الكاميرا والا السكرين شير هيقف.
الله أكبر لا مش هيقف. يلا ماشي أوكي. من هو محمد؟
انا لسه ناقل بيت جديد.
أهلا وسهلا. يلا لين إسماعيل. Stay with us please. Let's do this. طب عمر where is your answers؟
انا بعت لك 1 و 2 بس بحل 4.
صح 1 و 2 صحيحين حلوين. يلا nice. Let's do them. Let's do one by one. He's asking question number 1. And by the way, I give it to you 4 minutes, all right? Because these are super easy questions. You don't have to solve it in 4 minutes. It's too much 4 minutes, by the way. You can solve them in 2 minutes. Right. He's asking for g of -2. What do you do? Take instead of each x by -2, and that's what's just happening. -2 times -2 square plus 7 times -2 minus 3. Okay. So -2 times -2 squared, that's going to be 4. Minus 14 minus 3. Do you know what? I'm not going to resume. Obviously A. Because when you are doing -2 times 4 is going to be -8, minus 14 is going to be something still big and negative, and then -3, that's it. Type K of 4, it's going to be 5 times 4
22.
plus 2. Exactly, which is going to be 22. And now, K of 1 is 5 times 1 minus, or wait, plus 2, which is going to be 7. Subtract them, you get 15.
Yeah.
Okay. So question number 3. Question number 3 is saying to you that what is the value of g of h of 3? Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna do always when you have such questions like this, do the inner brackets, okay? Which is h of 3. By the way, this is h. What is the value of 3? The value of h of 3 is 0. So h of 3, that's equals 0. So now I'm gonna take, instead of h of 3, the whole of this, I will do it as a 0. So that's what's gonna happen.
G0.
It's gonna be like this. Exactly. G of 0. Okay. So it's gonna be g of 0. I will go to the function and I will see how you will do the g of 0. Look at the table and see the g of 0 is gonna be -1. So the final answer will be -1. And that the answer is A. تعالوا نعمل 4. I have 2 functions and I want to see what is the value of px, gx. I have a b and I have a q. Again, one more time. When you have like this, start with the inner bracket. The inner bracket, I'm gonna do the p of 5 first, and then I'm gonna do the q of 5 second. Right? Let's do this and let's do that, and let's see how you do it. Nice. So b of 5, I'm going to do instead of each axis by 5. So that's going to be 5 square minus 4 times 5 plus 8, which is going to be 25 minus 20 plus 8. يعني هتكون 5 plus 8, which is 13. Yes. Which is 13. Now, q of 5, I'll go to q and I will do instead of q by 5. So 5 minus 3, that's going to be the answer is 2. So now I know that the b of 5, yeah, guys, b of 5, I know it as what? As a 13. And q of 5, I know it as a 2. So I'm doing instead of p5 and instead of q5 by the values that I just found. Yani, it's going to be this. Q of and P of. Q of what and B of what? Q of B of 5. What is the value of P of 5? It was a 13. So Q of 13 over P of 5. Q of 5. شو هو Q of 5 is 2. So B of 2. تعالوا نعمل apply. Q of 13. All right. Q of 13 is going to be 13 minus 3, and it's going to be 10 over P of 2. تعالوا نعمل هون instead of each x by 2. The problem is you have to know which one I'm using. I'm using P or I'm using Q, and that's it basically. So it's going to be 2 squared. It's 4 minus 4 times 2 is going to be 8 plus 8. 8 and 8 gone is going to be 10 over 2. 10 over 2, yani 2.5.
2.5.
2.5, which is going to be on what?
D.
D. That's how you do it. All right. Let's do one more complicated one, okay? Let's do one complicated one. Let's do this, and let's see if you are good. If you do it, it means that. Done? Mean away?
Smile.
Smile. Okay, this guy I can't see. لا إله إلا الله رسول الله. Type. Give your friends a chance. Okay, so. Correct, yes, mate. Nice. Allah. Right, that's perfect. Yalla. Lean, Mariam.
I don't know actually.
Yazan, Amr. What's going on here?
I'm not sure, Mr. مش متأكد من الجواب.
طيب, guys, let's do this together. But now, instead of saying h of 6, first of all, here we have, as you can see, here we have values of f and values of g, and he's asking for the h, all right? And how I would get the h? I would get the h using this, right? Using this information. Here he's saying to you that h of n is going to be equals 2 times f of n minus g of n. طيب, I'm going to change the question for a minute. I will say that what is the value of h of 2? Let's say that h of 2, right? Which is, by the way, it's much easier than doing the h of 6. Why it's easier? Because obviously when you have an h of 2, yani, you just evaluate instead of each ends here by 2, yes? So it's going to be 2 times f of 2 minus g of 2, تمام? طيب, ask yourself this good question. What is the value of f of 2? F of 2 is going to be 11.6, as you can see. So it's going to be 2 multiplied by 11.6 minus, what is the value of g of 2? Also easy to say, it's 1.5. Yes or not?
Yes.
So that's how you have to think about it, all right? That's how you have to think about it. So then you can do it. You can just find the answer using calculator to get the answer. But unfortunately, he's not asking for h of 2. He's asking for h of 6. But how can I find the h of 6? How you have to calculate the h of 6? Mr. Ismail, tell me how you did.
I solved by logic. No, n 2, 3, 4. So we're adding in
Sequences.
every
You're
row.
doing sequences. Exactly. Same thing, Ubay?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. That's perfect. So here, what they are trying to do, they are doing some sequences. Okay. Let me show you what they mean. What do we mean by sequences? طيب أنا راح أحاول أعمل شيء اللي هو أعمل تحت انزل تحت. أحاول آخذ هذا هيك. أحاول أطلع فوق. نايس. نحاول نعمل هيك وناخذ شوية مساحة فاضية. Okay, good. If okay, so here, as you can see, everyone, look, 2, 3, 4, right? Can I create some values? Can we create some more values? All right. Can we create? Yes, sure, I can create. Here I have a 4, right? As you can see, I can create 5 and 6. I can, because I can do that. Do you know why? Because it's a linear. Once it's a linear, it means that it's always with a constant rate. And always, because I'm increasing the ends by 1, by 1, by 1, by 1. So what's happening basically with f? What's going to happen every time? What's happening every time? As you can see that the difference between 13.9 and 11.6, it's 2.3. So every time I'm adding 2.3. Every time I'm adding 2.3. Every time I'm adding 2.3. Do you see? So the new value is going to be 18.5, is it? Because when you add 16.2, there's a calculator, don't worry. Add 2.3 is going to be 18.5. And also add here 2.3. What is going to be at the end? It's going to be 20 point what? 20.8. Do you agree? That's what's happening with the value of f. What about the g? Every time, what's happening in the value of g's?
Less than half.
Increasing 0.5.
Exactly, increasing, minusing 0.5 every time. So 0.5 minus 0.5, what is the answer?
0.
0. And 0 minus 0.5, what is the answer?
Minus 0.5.
Minus 0.5. And that's lovely. Do you know why that's lovely? Because I'm looking for h of 6. And once you're looking for h of 6, it means that 2 multiplied by f of 6 minus g of 6, okay? Okay, h of 6. What is f of 6? 2 times f of 6. F of 6, we know it as this. 20.8, right? Minus g of 6, we know it as this, which is minus 0.5. And now that's when you'll get the answer. The total answer is going to be, multiply them, is going to be 40, or just calculator, 42. And that's the answer. Okay. We still have time. We can do more. Right. We still have 10 minutes. We can do a lot. And there is only 4 slides left. So let's do more. And let's do 6 and 7. Let's do 6 now, for now. Which statement is not true? Yeah, good, Ismail, good. Nice. Now, which one is not true? I'm looking for which one here is not true. Right. So get the answers as C, yeah?
Yes, C.
Ubay, Yazan, and Lean, Mariam. Mariam, why D? Mariam, D is correct, but we are looking for a one that's incorrect. We are looking for one it's not true, all right? So he's saying to you that the above figure shows the function this, which statement above about the function is not true. I'm looking for a one that's not, I'm not looking for the true, I'm looking for one not true. That I don't know if I told you about this. Once you have an f of a value, it is equals to a value, all right? If you want to change this one as a coordinate, all right? If you want to change this one as a coordinate, you just say that A and B. This represents your coordinate, A and B. A will represent the X, and you know that inside X, and B will represent the Y, and that's as I told you, right? So we have an X and we have a Y. So how we will do this? Which one is not true? By the way, you can solve this one using logic sense, which is C, because I don't know if you see, this is, we call it an absolute value function. And the answer of the absolute value function is always what? Always positive, yes? So it's always positive. How come I have a negative answer? There is no way. And let's make sure twice, all right? So with the point here, I have a 0 n and 0. Look, 0 as x and 0 as y. Here I have a -4 as x and 4 as y. Here I have a 4 as x and -4 as y. And here is saying to me that the domain is all real numbers. And by the way, that's 100% correct, because how I'll calculate the domain, you just draw a line on x. Is there an intersection? Yes. Try to mentally try to move your line over all the x. Is there any point with no intersection? Is there any point with no intersection? I don't think so, yeah? So all of the points here with the intersection. So that's correct, 100% sure about the correct. All right, 0, 0, where is the point 0, 0? Is it on the graph? Yes, it is on the graph. And again, I'm looking for a 1, it's not true. -4 and 4, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's exactly on the line set. So that's also correct. C is incorrect. Look why. 1, 2, 3, 4, and -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is here the point C, and it's not on the line, so it's incorrect. That's how you know. Okay? That's how you know this. Okay, one more question about the domain and range, and that's enough for today. Here, I'll talk about domain and range, all right? We will talk about the domain and range, how you do this domain, how you do this range. Okay, guys, domain and range. He's asking for domain and range. Again, when you're looking for a domain, I told you this. If you're looking for a domain, try to draw a vertical line like this, right? We draw a vertical line like this. Before I start, where is my function? My function is this, as you can see that. Start from here, all right? This is your function. This is your the first part of the function and the second part of the function. Right. Now, when I draw this line, all right, the orange line, did it intersect? Do I have an intersection now?
Yes.
Now you can see there is no intersection, but when you will extend it, all right, because he said to you that this line can be extended, yes? When you will extend it, it's gonna be intersection, yani it will intersect. As you can see that now there is no intersection, but when you will extend it, it's gonna be intersection. It will intersect, yes or not? So that's why I have, for example, there is no point. Look carefully. If you moved your graph over the whole x-intercept, okay, over the whole x-intercept, do we have any point with no intersection? I can't see. Negative, negative, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, all of the x, entire domain, the whole domain that we have with what? With intersection. So that's why I'm gonna say that the domain will represent, my domain represents what?
All the real number.
Exactly. So the domain is all real numbers. Type. One more time, how you will get the range. How I will get the range? I told you that draw an horizontal line like this, right? So when you're drawing the horizontal line like this, now that's what? That's a 5, that's a 6, that's a 7, that's an 8. So you just moved your line. Now, what about the 5? Do I have an intersection at 5? No. Do I have intersection at 6? No. At 7? No. At 8? No. So what about the 4? Do I have intersection at the 4? Yes, there is intersection at 4. So 4 and a 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a 0 and anything lower than 4. So that's why I'm saying that the range, it has to be any value lower than or equals to 4, less than or equals to 4. And that's why my answer, I don't know which one. It's going to be D?
B.
B? D.
No, D, yes.
D.
It's going to be D. And that's how you do it. Okay? I wish I would clear. So, today, I'm not going to report to the administration that you didn't do the homework. Why? Because I'm going to give it to you another chance, right? No one did the homework. So the other chance that you get is page 12, page 13, page 14, page 15.
تمام.
Mr. Which chapter 10, right?
Chapter 7.
7. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So have a nice knowing.